This next guy is amazing. You've seen him at Bumbershoot, Sirius XM. He's all over the place. Luke Severeid.
Oh man, I woke up in a good mood today. By round of applause, who woke up in a good mood today? That's good. That wasn't all of you. That wasn't all of you. Some days you just wake up and you're like, nah man, not again. You just wake up and can't turn your head to the right. I just woke up and like, hey, guess we don't look over there today. Because while I was napping, I ruined something. It's the worst, eh? But I woke up in a good mood today. I was just walking around in a good mood. And every time that happens, I'm stoked, I'm rolling with it, but at the same time, I'm suspicious. I'm like, what did I do to earn this? I was unconscious for a while. Did I get my taxes finally? What's going on here? Now, it used to be so much easier to be in a good mood. Like, when I was a little kid, I would just wake up happy. Like, that was the default setting. You wake up and you're like, what? I just go about my day. Like, that just boggles my mind that I was doing that now. I'm just like, some days I wake up, I'm like, we don't look to the right today. We just don't do it. Don't know why. We were on a pillow. It was rude. Like, so silly. Oh, man. It was 2 months ago. I was up in Tacoma. That's where I live. And I was in a metropolitan market, which is just like an upscale grocery store. And I like to go to those on occasions because I like snacks. A lot. I'm a big fan of snacks. I can't do this a lot. Snacks? Yeah, dude! No, man. Okay. I've been working on getting in shape for about a decade. It's tedious work. It takes a while, especially if you like snacks like I do. It's because I'm really good at like dieting and exercising for like short periods of time. What always happens, like you go on a diet for a week, at the end of the week, I'm like, oh man, dude. I'm so proud of you. You crushed it. You deserve a treat. I'm like, I do deserve a treat. I do deserve a treat. I did such a good job not doing the thing, I should probably go do the thing. I do it all the time. So I was at a metropolitan market because I was going to get some bougie snacks. Feeling decadent because I went jogging twice that week. And I'm walking just down this aisle, and like a small child comes around a corner of another aisle, which is normal. People make people. They're tiny. They get taller. They walk around corners. That's not weird. That's not weird. I don't know how old this kid was because I'm not good at guessing children's ages because that is a super creepy skill to have. I don't want to be around anyone who's like, that child? Yeah, 94 and a half months. You're like, wait, what? Oh, no, Brian, you need to be about 500 feet away from everybody. So this 94 and a half month-year-old comes around this corner. So this kid comes around this corner, and like, he's just out of breath from excitement. He's like holding a bag. He's just like, I was like, what's happening around the corner, man? Like, he just goes, Mom! Dad said I could get sun chips! And if there's enough, you can have some too! They're whole grain! You're excited about entire grains? It was a blue bag. Original sun chips. Basic sun chips. Nothing fancy. No harvest cheddar, no French onion, no garden salsa. I'm like, do you guys know how good I have to be at doing drugs to be that happy again? Oh my God, it's difficult. It's like threading a needle. You can't just be like, let's just do a bunch of drugs. Nah, man. No, you gotta do the right amount of drugs. Not too much, not too little. You gotta talk to the right people, but not the wrong ones. You gotta look in the mirror, but not too much. It's like playing Plinko, where you just start just like, I hope, ting, 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 ting. Success! So I don't know, maybe that kid was just like really happy. Or Sun Chips is just really good at guerrilla marketing. They just hire a bunch of kids to walk around bougie stores. And idiot 33-year-olds are walking around going, dude, we're jogging. Twice this week. We should get some treats. And this kid's like, Sun Chips. I'm like, oh, that is a good idea, dude. That is a very good idea. Oh, original? Nah, dog, not for me. Getting garden salsa because I'm feeling zesty. And I did get garden salsa, it was delicious. I earned it. You guys are fun. I used my car horn for the first time ever a couple months ago. It was the first time ever. And just so you know, I drive a fuel-efficient vehicle, which is a fun way to say I don't drive a big boy car. It just happens. I gotta go from A to B a lot, so it's like make it fuel efficient. So I had to use the car horn, and what happened was, it was my fault. I was in someone's blind spot, which you're not supposed to do. But I do it all of the time. Because I like to feel sneaky. Just get down and just like, oh my God, you don't even know I'm here. Is this what Batman feels like? Yeah, I'm Batman right now. I get bored, I need to entertain myself. So I'm in someone's blind spot, being Batman, and they go to get in my lane, someone's behind me, I can't slam on my brakes, so I have to hit my horn, it goes, hey! I'm like, wait, what? That's the sound? That's the sound I use to deter people from hitting me. You stop, don't do it! Like, what? I went thousands of dollars into debt for that sound to maybe be the last sound I make on this planet. Just, hey, no, stop, darkness forever! What? No! Too loud, my bad, all right. I was like, it sounds very rambunctious. It's okay. I was on my way to Portland, actually, when that happened. I do a lot of shows down here. It's a cool town, I like this town. I was walking around, I was on my way to a show, and at the show, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm bald. I don't like when other bald dudes are like, yeah! Like, no, man, it's not. I don't want to team up. Bad things happen when we do that. I'm sorry, it's true. Have you heard of history? I'm bald. I write a lot of jokes about being bald because it's just a part of my life all the time. And I've noticed, like, people that aren't also bald, like, they don't really care about bald dudes. They just say weird stuff. I was at a show, and I was on the way to the show when I was walking. Do you guys walk? Do you pedest? Do you pedest about? Just stretch out these legs? Just, you, okay? No, just me? Okay, tight. That's fine. I'm a big fan. I like to pedest about. I was pedesting, I was walking past some kids. Like I said, I don't know how old they were, but I walked past them. The second I got past them, one of the kids was like, that guy was so bald. I was like, oh, whoa! That's very rude, child. It's rude, because no bald dude is stoked about his haircut. No dude has looked in the mirror, seen his hair retreat, and be like, hell yeah, man! Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to have on. You know all those haircuts I've had all these years? You know what? I want worse and worse versions of all those haircuts. Until I just have no other options. This is my last haircut. For forever, because if I grow it out, it's a cul-de-sac. Hard pass, not a fan. Not a fan. I grew up in the suburbs, doesn't mean I want to carry them with me wherever I go. So what I'm trying to say is, I know you're not supposed to hit your kids, but what if they're not your kids? I'm just hypothetically, allegedly, what if you're just like, that's how you talk to people, and he's like, what? And you're like, "Ka-ka!" And then you run away. You're aerodynamic, I'm fast, I'm a pedestrian, I'm swift, I can get away. If you do that and you kick a kid and the kid just goes cool and takes it, you're like, oh no, you need to stay there and finish the fight. Because that is a supervillain in the making. And society demands you end it. Okay, no, that got dark at the end. I was on my way to a show, and I went to the show and I was telling jokes about being bald. I was telling that exact story. And like a woman in the audience was like, laughing, which is dope. That's what I want all of you to do tonight, is laugh, enjoy the words coming out of my mouth. I want that to happen. But she was laughing like a little bit too hard. Like just a little, just like you're bald. I'm like, what? What's going on in your life, madame? And I looked closer and saw that there was a man sitting next to her wearing a hat. You guys know where this is going, okay. And then she's like slapping her knee on one of the upswings, she rips his hat off and goes, he's like you! I was like, is he tired of you, Deborah? Because I am. Because that's rude. Like, no one stuffed their body isn't on their side. Maybe he didn't want to shave his head that day, so he's like, I'm just going to wear a hat. People look at me wearing a hat and be like, he looks like he has a full head of hair underneath that hat. And she's like, nah, that's funny because you guys are shiny. I was like, you're rude, Deborah. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I was like, check this out, Deborah. Check this out. Check this out. Imagine, I don't know, a woman was on stage telling jokes about how her breasts were starting to sag. And some dude in the audience was laughing like just a little bit too hard. And he leaned over to the woman sitting next to him. He was like, "Hey, Deborah, she's talking about you!" That would be rude. I thought that made the point. I thought that was like, hey, check this out, use some empathy, don't do that. It's rude to do that. She heard me and was just like, that's a great idea, and immediately whipped her tits out. I was like, oh, and she's like, that's a great, I was like, who won this exchange? I don't know anymore. Because I thought I made a point and crushed you, and then you're like, here's some titties, and I was like, you won, and I was like, well, I saw titties, and I was like, I called it a draw. Fun fact, my skull and her breasts were the same color. I was like, match! That always weirds people out. I accidentally turned into a jogger. It's rude. It's rude. People get mad at you when you tell them that you jog. They're like, no, I don't like it! I'm like, I'm not saying you have to. I'm not like training to chase you. I'm just like, you better get swift, Steven. Coming after you, dog. Like, I'm not. No, what happened, I didn't do it on purpose. What happened is I ate a cookie. And I didn't read the directions. Yeah, some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It was inedible. It was a drug cookie. It was a drug cookie, which is not, I mean, it just kind of cracks me up that we're at a point in life where we're just like, hey, you want to do drugs, but you also like having sweets? We got you, bud. Like, what? No, okay, it's not like alcohol, because sometimes people are like, I don't see the difference if you've never done it. It's not like alcohol. With alcohol, you can get a drink, you can drink that drink, you can tell how strong that is just off the taste. But with edibles, you can get a cookie, you can eat that cookie, and be like, that was a delicious treat. How many servings of drugs are in that? And they're like, 4 T7. Ooh, not that many people. So I accidentally ate an entire cookie because I got cocky and I've been eating cookies for years. So I was like, and then I was just sitting there and my brain was like, I was like, we cannot sit with this right now. So I went outside, I was like, I gotta walk around my neighborhood, I gotta stretch out these hands, try to get some of this energy out, so this will stop going in circles, maybe I'll go in a circle, maybe that'll stop it, that'll be fine, that'll be fine, that'll be fine, then you're like, I'm talking out loud, my neighbors must be terrified. What I was doing is I was walking around, I don't know if you guys know this about walking, it is just a gateway drug to running. You do it long enough, you're like, I can do this faster, I'm never gonna do it. So I run often, it's fun, it's what I do, don't worry about it. Also, I'm not high on coke, by the way. Sometimes people ask me, they come up after a show, they're like, you want a coke? You got coke? And I was like, no, man, I don't do coke. Mostly because I don't have any. But it's, moving on. Okay, no, Do you guys ever just catch yourself being bad at peopling? Yeah, like all the time. I do that all the time. And it always happens after I've been like crushing it for like a week or two. Like, you know when you're just like in the pocket, you're just like, anytime I talk to people, it's like finger guns, and everyone's like, oh, I love finger guns, and you're like, okay, you do, going around, and then just one day, you go with finger guns at someone, you're like, and they're like, my father was murdered by finger guns. Oh no! Oh, rest in peace. And I mess it up all the time. Just 2 weeks ago, I was at a show up in Tacoma, hanging out, talking with a friend of mine, another comic. We're hanging outside the venue. We both were on the show. We both had great sets. And these two young women come up to us, and they lean in and they say something complimentary. I assumed they were at the show, so they said something nice. So I responded with, "Glad you enjoyed the show." Like all high energy and like peppy, because I was like, oh, I'm in a good mood. And then they walked away. With just a weird, they were like, I don't know what just happened. They walked away, and I was like, Cameron, what did I do? What did I do? Did I finger guns wrong? She's like, okay. They weren't at the show. They walked up to us and said, you two make a cute couple. And then you said, glad you enjoyed the show! So I'm saying, sometimes I finger guns when I really shouldn't finger guns at all. How do you guys feel about crows? On the fence? I don't know, I keep going back and forth. I think they're dope birds, but they terrify me. Dude, crows, I don't know, man, they always look at you like as if you're supposed to pay them. So just got mad, they're like, what are you gonna do for me, dude? I don't know, like birds in general kind of creep me out. Because they can attack you from above your head. Like, I'm a person, so I'm just expecting things on this level, but like a crow can be like, I don't like Luke today, and like attack me. I'm not a fan of that. Also, I don't want to mess with any sort of entity that is capable of flight. It is capable of being like, I don't like the earth right now, so to the sky. But when a car is barreling towards it, it just kind of goes like, oh, what, you trying to hit me? No, dude, you good? Are you kidding me? It's like, oh, that's not even a big boy car, whatever, dude, like what? That is disrespectful. It's disrespectful. I love doing that hop so much. It's so stupid. Going, I don't give a shit, dog. Like, man, they remember your face too. They remember your face. They're smart birds. They can solve puzzles. If you're rude to a crow, it will look at you and go, huh, noted. Yeah. I'm gonna go tell all of my friends. And the next time you're by the dumpster, it's gonna get weird. Because if you're rude to a crow, it sees you again, it's like, ah! And then all of its crow buddies are like, that guy, ah! And then you just have a bunch of sharp triangles in the sky cawing at you. It's terrifying. What I'm trying to ask is, have you ever been chased by birds before? It is not a pleasant experience. I moved into a new place like 2 months ago, and I like to go running, like I mentioned. The first time I was like, we need to go jogging, man. I stepped out, I started running, and just one crow just beelined it for me. I've named him Clarence. This beeline is like, ah! I'm like, what is happening here? This is not, what is this, my origin story? Is this, do I get superpowers from this? I don't remember how Brandon Lee became the crow. Was it because of jogging? Is this what is gonna happen here? Because I've never been rude to a crow on purpose, but I realized this is not a unique look at all. A bald dude with a beard? Wow. There's probably 7 of us in this room right now. Don't look, it's rude. I'm saying, I started losing my hair earlier. I was like 17 when I started losing my hair. Aww. No, man, fun fact. I stopped believing in God, and then immediately afterwards started losing my hair. What a coincidence. I'm like, you're not real. He's like, we'll see. Hadn't actually even lost my virginity yet, so I was like, really, God, who stopped believing in him? Two-way street, buckaroo. But I'm saying this is a very predictable look. Like a lot of times dudes just start losing their hair, they're like, I'm gonna shave it off, I'm gonna grow a beard. That's just who I'm gonna be as a person. That's my personality now, I guess. So I see him everywhere. Like people, at least once, twice a month, message me a picture of just some random guy in a bar. And just be like, hey, are you at this bar? I'm like, no. You're not in the slightest. That is another human being that just sort of vaguely kind of looks like me. I don't think you're as good of a friend as I think you think. I've started to call them lookalikes. I'm not a big fan of puns, but I'm also a huge narcissist, so I'm like, yep, we're gonna do it. And I honestly, I see lookalikes wherever I go. Just all the time. And I like to play a game Or when I walk past one, I like to whisper just a little bit too loudly. I like to go, "You're not me," and just keep going. They're always like, "Oh, we're not, what's this? We're never at all." It's a fun game. None of them have tried to fight me yet. That might happen in the future. This isn't a calm look. Also, I'm not looking forward to that fight at all because no one is going to interrupt that at all. No one's getting in the middle of that. They're just going to go, we're going to let these two bouncers sort this out. Someone's getting kicked out of the Safeway, I guess. A couple years ago, a man rode a jet ski off of Niagara Falls, which is like a really dramatic way to get rid of a jet ski. Like, hey man, have you heard of like OfferUp or Craigslist? It's way easier. You don't have to do that, bud. People like jet skis. They're basically just motorcycles for people who are like, I like to get it wet, zoom, zoom. So like, someone would take it. The reason he gave was that he was raising awareness of homelessness, which makes no sense. You can't just do a thing and justify it by being like, but I'm doing it for this. You're like, no. If I was just like, hey you guys, I'm going naked skydiving, and you're like, what, why, we don't care. I was like, it's for Toys for Tots. I'm raising awareness that tots like toys, so I'm a hero, you need to pay attention to me and my flying penis. Like, what? It's nonsense. He died. He went off Niagara Falls on a jet ski, and it did not work out well for him. Which is sad. It's a bummer. But like, I don't know, like on the bright side, there's like at least one home that's now available. A little bit too dark for you. Okay. I'm sorry. Honestly, I only tell that joke to raise awareness of the dangers of just I don't know, like it's just such a dumb thing. Like, there's a cautionary tale literally in a song. Like, don't go chasing waterfalls. It's in a song that was the #1 hit for quite a while, dude. Please stick to the rivers and lakes that you know. And on this, you guys have had a lot of fun. I've been trying to go to the gym. A bit more here and there, because I'm in my 30s. I want to keep this going as well as you can. And I got a workout partner. He's a comic. He's a good buddy of mine. Well, at the time he wasn't a good buddy of mine. He's a lookalike. He is. He's not a white lookalike though, because I try to minimize how many white dudes with beards and tattoos I hang out with, because shit gets sketchy when that happens. No, but he's a black dude, bald, beard, he's got some tattoos. He's a cool dude. I didn't really know him when we started working out together. Do you guys have those friends that like have such a monotone voice that you don't know if they're joking or telling you something you should remember later for a judge? And I didn't know this. He's got a dark sense of humor. Just it was a couple weeks into me working out. My arms started to get bigger again. You know, when you start seeing results, because I hate going to the gym. There's so many mirrors. I don't need to see me that much. I'm all sweaty and pink. I don't like it. But I'm like, oh, my arms are getting bigger, man. All this is like paying off. And he looks at me all deadpan. He's like, yeah, man. It's gonna make it way easier to kill people with your hands. I'm like, is that why you're here, Gregory? Man, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to get better at fighting off birds. He's got a dark sense of humor, and I want you all to think about how you would handle this exact situation, because I didn't know what to do. Alright, so I was doing this exercise, it's called the overhead press. It's where you hold the bar and you hoist it above your head, like that. And I don't know if you know this about bars and heads, is that if you drop them upon your head, oh, it's dangerous, it's not good. It's not good, you become less aerodynamic. You might even forget the letter C. Which sounds bad, but you can just replace them with K's. K's are just coffee C's anyway, so problem solved. But I'm struggling there, and I'm like, it was like final rep of the final set, and I'm struggling, the mirror's in front of me, I'm struggling. And it's not a good look. You don't need to be that close to a mirror. You don't need to see what your face is doing. I just shaved off my beard. I was like, oh, we have a prop for a face. This is great. I'm all sweaty. Someone 2 weeks prior has been like, hey man, you look like a thumb. And I was like, oh, I guess I do. Just, okay. So I'm struggling, it's like going up, and it's above my head. And right when it did, I was like, oh, it's the danger zone, that's the danger zone. And Greg's behind me, spotting me, he's my workout partner, is up right here. He leans in, and I think he's gonna say something like supportive, like, hey, you can get it. He leans in and just goes, wide power. I'm like, what? That is a good joke. I didn't know how to react at all. I didn't know what to do. All I knew for sure is I wasn't supposed to go, yeah! That's the last little bit I needed to put that final pep in. So I think what I'm saying is Greg is a really good friend. My name's Severeid. Enjoy the rest of the show. Bye.